Hello, welcome to this video about exporting FPOD data. I will just show you like my favorite rat run through all the possibilities here and then flag up some of the other ways you can export different aspects of the data. So I've got two copies of an FP1 file here and two copies of the FP3. So the file lasts a bit over 7 days. The export page is here. And a good place to start is with detections and environments. Detections and environment. I'm going to export it from file 3. File 4 would be exactly the same. They're both FP3 files. And we'll do it per hour. That's generally quite a useful unit. And we'll export it to results. We're not omitting negative time periods. We definitely want them in. So, okay, export data from file 3. Whiz bang, there it is. Cut to clipboard. Get up a spreadsheet. Control V to drop it in there. And you can see that we've got narrowband, high frequency DPM and clicks. Same for dolphins. So if I graph this dolphin DPM, we can see a kind of feature that is a worry. So in this hour, 60 minutes were positive. So any more dolphins coming along, they can't change that statistic. Every minute's already got detected dolphin. If we look at the clicks and graph that, we can see that that particular hour did have the largest number of clicks. But this peak here, which is kind of more than half actually, was about a tenth of it, or maybe certainly less than a fifth of it. So DPM is misleading. And basically any statistic that reaches more than about 30% of its maximum is liable to misrepresent the data quite significantly, because it can't go above 60 is 100% positive for minutes in an hour. So really, if you're getting above 30%, which would be 20, you should be using a different statistic. It could be DPM per day, or it could be number of clicks, which is probably the best one to go to. Okay, so that's that. We've got temperature, which is kind of what we expect. A bit higher right at the beginning because the pod's been out in warmer air, and then it's very steady when it's in the sea, at least over a period of a few days. Angle, the angle to vertical, that's starting off very high. So 0 means it is vertical, and 90 means it's at right angle. So I'm just going to delete those two very large values. So there's some kind of periodicity going on here, which is something that we will explore in another video about using the autocorrelation function. Okay. So you now go back to the data file, and you might decide, we've got to screen 30 minutes show from start, that you wanted to see, say, the total number of clicks in the FP1 file. So we can do that number of clicks per hour in the FP1. Cut to clipboard, go to the spreadsheet, and we can drop it in next to this. And I always kind of at the bottom just to check this the same number of minutes, and the minute number there and there are the same. Okay, and that's giving us the number of clicks in the FP1. We've actually got a figure here, number of all per minute, and that should give us essentially the same graph as that, just with a different scale. Yeah, so that's okay. But the point here is that by dropping it in right next to the detections and environment, you can associate, for instance, the number of clicks with the angle, which is kind of how much the current is leaning the pod over. Okay, so you've got a number of different things you can export, and the hints in red at the top here are really useful. You have to click on this to see it. So detections environment gives you detection rates for NBF other sonars, etc. And so it goes on. The values, the hints change, number of clicks, train duration total. That's an alternative to using number of clicks and maybe is a better one. Interclick intervals, etc. You can do it over different time periods. The ones I find most useful are 1 minute, hours, and all. So if you've got a lot of files, you can quickly, because you can do this on a batch. So you could say number of clicks, dolphin clicks, high confidence only, search directories for FP3, export from a batch of files, and go to wherever you've got your data, and got to be careful here not to pick a file with a folder with a huge number. Anyway, it's now gone through, found a number of files here, and given me the results for them. Okay, so if we go back to the exporting page, you've got different items. You can have the columns separated with a tab separator, which is good for dropping into a spreadsheet. A CSV separated for stats passages like R, and various options, which again all have their explanation up at the top. You can then export train details or full train details. So if we open the file set we had, I can find my way back to that. Tutorial files, take you. Okay, that's the file we had, and we could export just the Dolphin classified click trains, full train details. Okay, it wants me to select the file again. I'm going for a different file, and it's telling me where it's going to put the results. So here they are. I can copy file name there, open a text file in, copy all that, and then go to the spreadsheet and drop that in. So now it's giving me details of every one of the click trains, and that file had 1500 click trains. So what you can see is you do get very fast access to your data. You can do encounters, the details of the high resolution data on the click, the waves in the click where that has been saved, details on every click. If you're interested in that, you probably really want to go to this button here, Access Third-Party Analysis Tool, Third-Party Export. And then you get a lot of powerful options. And this is really intended for people who are kind of interested in running their own neural networks on pod data to see if they can improve the classification for their particular data sets. And you can do summary of displayed minutes. So, okay, that's quite useful if you want to get the level of battery stacks. And you can save your export settings. So you might have particular settings over here. You might have filters setting that you felt were useful. And so you can save them there and load them next time so that you always export the same thing. Okay, so that's just a very quick guide, but basically you can export anything you can see in the data and quite a bit more. So, and if you have questions on this, do write to us. We're very happy to support your efforts. Okay, thanks for your attention.